Good morning. My name's Debbie Knepke, and I'd like to thank Jackie, first of all, for inviting me to do this, because this is an opportunity, not something to be afraid of, so here we go. So my partner, Candace, this week, we celebrated our 14th anniversary together. So in the summer of 2003, we began our process of church shopping. Candy was pregnant with our first child, and we wanted to have our baby baptized, but we did not want our child to grow up with the same sort of strict Lutheran experience we both had as children. Candy grew up in Hubertus with Missouri Synod, and I grew up in a small rural town in eastern Colorado with Wisconsin Synod. We also knew we wanted to find a place that would be accepting of our relationship. I had attended an LGBT event at Plymouth the year before and recalled how warm and glorious this sanctuary felt. The architecture, the stained glass, the organ, I was super impressed. We tried a few places close to home. We live on the west side, then decided to give Plymouth a try, and it took one sermon by Marianne Neville, and we both knew that this was the place. I recall she mentioned something about no matter who you are, no matter where you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. That was not something either one of us had ever heard in church. And I even recall hearing the word gay, and it was in a loving and accepting concept. There was no hell and damnation that came with that word. We came back and fell in love with Andrew's sermons as well. We felt we were learning something, as if we were in a lecture hall with an amazing, insightful, caring, and inspiring professor. How refreshing it was not to be told what a sinner you are, and to be gently reminded of all of the work that we have to do on ourselves about being a better person, being a better parent, being a better neighbor, being a better community member. I've never seen Andrew wag his finger from up here and say, you are going to hell if there's not a particular way that you live. That was refreshing. The people in the congregation were also instantly welcoming. Being a part of a spiritual community was very important to us, and we felt the bond immediately. Feeling welcome and warm is what made us want to join, and also what made us want to give back. As soon as we became a member, we were asked by Claire, I believe, to bake cookies once a month for St. Ben's. I was immediately impressed that the church cared about those 500 hungry people every day on 9th and State. Not to mention the support that goes to homeless teens, Eastside seniors, and the dozens of other nonprofits that benefit from Plymouth Church. Over the years, we have given financially as well, and I enjoy writing the check. Much different than growing up with a father who hated the church because he was kicked out for being an elk, and because he said they were only nice to him when it was time to ask for money each year. We have also done what we can to support the children. Candy has volunteered in the Cribbery, the Salamander Room, and taught Sunday school. Since joining, we have baptized our 3 beautiful children, Sienna, Nolan, and Daniel, and they too have been exposed to the idea of community and how our church helps us to remember to be better people. And not just the stories of the Bible, because of course they don't understand how somebody can walk on water. But they understand the message. Many of our non-church-going friends do not understand that we see church not as an obligation, that we see it as something fun to do on a Sunday morning. They don't understand why we don't want to stay in bed or go to a coffee shop. We want to be here. We have also brought our kids' friends, and they comment about how they are surprised how happy everybody is and how much fun they have when they're here, which is different. They don't say this in front of their parents. They say this to us, which is different from their own church. So I would like to say thank you to Marianne for her patience with me when I would grill her about how Plymouth was different than Lutheran, How could it be possible to define what it means to be Christian in a way that empowers us as individuals and as a group? I also want to thank her for inviting Sienna to be baby Jesus as a 3-month-old. How could a little girl play a baby boy? This congregation had no problem with that, which was fantastic. So thank you to Pastor Andrew and Pastor Bridget for their fearless and relentless stand for leading an open and affirming congregation. Thank you, Andrew, for always having us over to your house. You're such an excellent cook. Thank you also to Pastor Bridget, because recently we have become friends because we played kickball this spring together. And finally, thank you to all of those who have loved us from the very beginning. There's no way I can get everybody, so I'll just highlight a few. George, Jean and Dick, Stephen, Lucy, Claire, Jennifer and Tina, Leslie, Bill, Linda, Janet, Sasha and Angie, and everyone who reliably offers us a hug every Sunday morning. Your love is noticed, your love is appreciated, your love makes us better people. Amen.